Hi guys, it's Emanuela here. Um, Welcome to my podcast project. So for this project, I partnered with Alexandra Clowers, and together we interviewed Kevin van Braak. Kevin is an artist. He is based in the Netherlands. He owns a company called Gogo Plastics, and basically what Kevin does is he makes artworks from 100% recycled plastic. So he makes sculptures, he makes beautiful furnishings and aesthetically pleasing things like cups, plates, just different type of artwork. And through his pieces, he brings to light environmental issues like poaching. And also in this interview, he discusses another one of his pieces that focuses on us as humans doing the more convenient thing because it's more convenient instead of doing the environmentally safe thing. So I will take you on different parts of our interview with him with actual clips from the interview. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Company called Gogo Plastics, which is a company that recycles plastic and makes it into beautiful new sheet material.
Amazing. That is really, really good. So what motivated you to start GoGo Plastics?
Well, at first I was asked by a company that has a big industrial complex to make tables for a restaurant. And the tables needed to be made from recycled material that comes from the industrial compound. And I was looking into different companies that recycle plastic and make them into sheet material because the table mainly consists of legs and a panel. And I couldn't really find anyone to work with, at least not in the way that I wanted. And then I thought, okay, so how difficult can it be to make a panel myself? So that's how it started. I built my first press, and from there it grew.
Amazing. Would you characterize?
Okay, so you just heard from Kevin himself as to what motivated him to start his company. And now I'm going to take you guys to what I found most interesting about this whole interview was two things actually. One, it was the description of two pieces that he had. He will go into more depth, but I found that very interesting into how he uses his pieces to, open eyes about, environmental problems and different things. And the second thing that struck me the most in this interview was him not wanting to consider himself an activist because an activist would mean something that is new, something that is, out of the ordinary. But in his eyes, an activist should be every human person just because we live on the planet. So we shouldn't have to put labels on people that are trying to do good for the planet because that's what we're all supposed to be doing. So those are the two things I found most interesting about this interview. And I will take you there now.
In this press in your studio.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask about your artwork because that's the thing to me that I find most amazing. I really, really do enjoy your artwork. The things that I've seen that you've built, amazing. And I know that you are an outspoken activist when it does come to the art that you make, even more so than in Gogo Plastics and the things that you produce. How does activism manifest in your artwork?
In the artworks that I make, I address certain issues, political, environmental issues, social issues. And yeah, I mean the sculptures or installations that I build, they have like how do you say that? Like they address issues. Yeah.
So, what would you say are some of your favorite or maybe most impactful pieces? And like, can you describe them for our listening audience?
Well, maybe the one that maybe becomes the most visual, if I talk about it, is like a sculpture called Elephant, which is a life-size teak wood uh, uh, carved elephant. It's an African elephant that just has been killed and is laying on the floor. And when you come from a distance, you see like, oh wow, there's an elephant. What's he doing? Sleeping. And then you come closer, and then you see that they just basically butchered with the axe. They took out the tusk. So it's like it's dead. It's on the floor. The face has been mutilated. The tusk is out, and but the sculpture itself is like it's made in a very precious wood. There's 2,500 hours of wood carving into it. It's made with a lot of attention. So you really see like, wow, this is a really well-made sculpture. It's very detailed. You see the veins of the veins, not the how do you call this? The grooves of the skin of the elephant. You see everything is there, so detailed, but it's a really horrible scene actually. So that is what I do with a lot of my work. I make something that is like in first aesthetically pleasing, or it's like when you enter an installation, you feel kind of comfortable and it's nice, but actually underneath it, there's something that tells you, this is actually not that nice.
Yeah.
I can give you another example. I have a work which is called Books for Burning, which is an oven, which is especially designed for burning books. And on the outside of the oven, you can cook. So there's like a grill, there's an oven for baking pizzas or making vegetable dishes. There's an kind of like a pan which you can cook soups. It's a large oven, has to be operated by 5 people, and at the same time you're burning and burning and burning books. And with the heat of that, you're cooking. I don't know, you're grilling meat, you're making pizzas, you're baking bread, you're making vegetables, and then everybody is there, standing there. So when we did this for the first time, the operating this thing, there's like 250 people there, and everybody gets food and you get heat from the object. And they're all like, "Oh wow, what a pity!" Or you cannot burn books, and you're destroying culture and history and all these kind of things that are related to burning books. But at the same time, there's free food.
Oh.
So it's like, whoa, but there's free food, and then you start eating the food. So everybody that participates in eating the food actually also participates in burning the books. So this work really relates to how we act in daily life. We are against something, but on the other hand, like it may be more convenient to do the opposite anyway. Like you can buy a very cheap T-shirt made of cotton, not realizing that to produce one T-shirt of cotton, you need 2,500 liters of water. So if you just buy cheap T-shirts and then it's like a one-time use or like whatever, use it 5 times and you chuck it, you actually using really important resources like water or cotton and colors. It's like it has a large environmental impact, the things that you do. So with this work of the books, which is called Books for Burning, you get free food and like, wow, I can eat. But in this time, I really show you like it goes to the cost of the burning of the books.
That is amazing. That is amazing because we really just stopped talking about in class um, how people are so resistant to change and how we are more prepared to do the more convenient thing. Excuse me. We are more prepared as a society to do what is more convenient as opposed to what is the most correct thing to do.
Yeah.
And we are resistant to change.
Yeah, plus also we don't really want to see what is
No,
happening.
we don't really want to see the impact of the choices that we make. And because of that, it is very, very hard to inspire change and to inspire people to change on a mass scale. Because a lot of the issues that we're facing in our society with climate change, with being flippant with our environment, are based entirely in these larger systems that are above us. We would have to uproot our entire society for anything to get better.
Okay, I'm back again. Just to give you guys a little break from that interview setting and make things a little more informal. Wow. That whole narration of his pieces, especially the elephant poaching one, really broke my heart because these are African elephants and I'm African. And I honestly didn't even have any idea that this was going on. So I think it's really beautiful that I think he's doing such great work because one, you're making these things out of 100% recycled plastic. Like you're literally saving the planet while bringing awareness. Like I think that is such a beautiful thing that he's doing, and he's bringing to light. And that's just two of the many pieces that he's created. So I honestly think like he's doing such great work, and this interview was a wonderful eye opener. Another interesting thing is how he feels about the word activism. And I don't want to talk about it too much because that's what the interview is supposed to do. So I'm going to insert a clip of what he said when we asked how he feels about activism as a word.
So I'm wondering why. I know you seem hesitant to call yourself an activist, and I apologize because I've characterized you as an activist throughout all my questions. I'm curious as to why you feel as though a lot of the things that you're doing to bring awareness to an issue, to environmental issues, and the important going so far as to start a company that recycles plastic to me it feels huge in terms of activism because the average person would not do this. This is very like an exceptional thing to have done. Um, why do you feel so hesitant to call that activism?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't really like to label it.
I understand.
Yeah, I think and and it's really strange that you say that, or that you think that somebody doing something for thinking about the environment or taking a step to making people aware of things or recycling plastic or start a company to do something good, that has to be an activist. That should just be a common person,
Mhm.
right? Everybody should just do that. And everybody that doesn't do it, then, what should you call them?
Not doing their job.
So I'm sure you guys heard that. In as much as this interview was like very eye opening in terms of the amount of environmental problems that we actually have, I love the fact that he said this should just be everyone's job. Like we shouldn't designate a whole profession to doing the right thing. I really love that. And that was honestly the highlight of the interview for me.
Have any advice for any young people who may want to do the same things that you are doing or want to become environmental, well, um, good citizens, good environmental citizens?
Good, what kind of citizens?
Environmental citizens.
Oh, or citizens of the planet. Yeah, you should perceive yourself as a citizen of this planet.
Yes.
Yeah, and no, poor advice. Just mm, use less stuff. You don't need that much stuff.
Yeah.
And what you use, make it valuable.
That's good advice.
So, guys, that is the end of the podcast. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it was as informative for you guys as it was for me. Yep, I really hope you guys enjoyed it, because I had a wonderful time interviewing Kevin. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it.